And hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is your NFL guru, Neal, back here to bring you the predictions for the AFC and NFC Championships. But first of all, let's recap. Last week was pretty good. Got a perfect prediction, actually 27-20 Patriots over Chiefs. Absolutely perfect. Went 3-1. Did not expect Carolina to play that well against Seattle. And then they nearly choked. So it was an interesting game, definitely an interesting game, but their defense came out to play. Carolina's defense is a force to be reckoned with, so I'd be aware. Cam Newton Demon throw 110 yards in the first half, and they were up by 31 points. That tells you how much they rely on their defense to really be a team of success. So real quick, let's just focus on those coaching hires real quick, and we'll just rank them from 1 to 7 because those are 7 new teams with new coaches. Number one, Hugh Jackson. I think he's a good hire for the Browns specifically. He may not fit at other teams, but he's an immediate guy who works on fixing the offense immediately. Okay, so I think he's a great pickup. He also thinks the Browns need a quarterback. Look for them to get Goff. The Browns may slowly turn it around, man. This may not be the typical Cleveland Browns team we're used to seeing. I think he really fixes them up. And shout out to all the people at Berkeley, Sagar, Drew, Kieran, Sonny, all of you guys, Nirav, all you guys saying Goff was going to be great. I think Jared Goff is going to be a phenomenal quarterback in the NFL. Look for him to actually turn around that Cleveland Browns team. I think he figures them out, and I think the Browns actually become a team of mediocrity to a team of relative decency in the next couple of years. Hugh Jackson, the best hire. Next is Dirk Koetter. I think he turned Winston into a great quarterback last year, ran the ball very well with Doug Martin. Look for him to stay true as an offensive coordinator, now a head coach for that Buccaneers team. He's the second best hire on the list. Number 3, we got Adam Gase of the Dolphins, and specifically because he's going to run a lot of spread offense with Tannehill and a speed back in Lamar Miller. Spread with speed backs works every time because you make the running back run east-west versus north-south, it's going to work. I think the Dolphins actually become almost a contender in the next 2 or 3 years, and Gase is there to stay. Number 4, we got Doug Pederson. He was, with the Chiefs, now he's with the Eagles. I think he's a great hire. Look for him with Jim Schwartz as their offensive coordinator to run the ball to DeMarco a lot. I think DeMarco's a sneaky fantasy pickup next year to get early. I think he has his career rejuvenated, and the Eagles come back to relevancy now that Chip Kelly's gone. Speaking of Chip Kelly, he's the 5th best hiring out of the 7th best hiring. And the reason being is because Chip Kelly's not a great head coach. He's not bad. He wants to win, and he doesn't consistently lose. All right, 2 10-6 seasons, and then a terrible season this year. He's not horrible as a coach, but the guy does not fit the 49ers scheme. They're power. They've always been based on power. Carlos Hyde, power running back. Anquan Bolden, strong receiver. He'll muscle you up. Defensively, Navarro Bowman, power linebacker, inside linebacker, not based on coverage. Chip Kelly will force his linebackers to cover, which will not help for the 49ers, and he'll make Carlos Hyde run east and west. If DeMarco couldn't do it, there's no way Carlos Hyde, a pure power back, is going to run east and west. Chip Kelly will force him to fit into the offense, take away the 49ers' best offensive game. They're a disaster, especially because they're sticking with Kaepernick thanks to Kelly. So they're a dumpster fire at this point, man. Expect another 5 to 10 years until that management is gone. Then only can they properly rebuild. 6, we got Ben McAdoo for the Giants. Average hiring. I mean, he hasn't really proven anything, so we'll see how he is. And 7th, we have Mike Mularkey for the Titans. They really weren't that good. And I don't know why they, hired him fully from interim to head coach. I don't think that was a good move at all by them, but you never know. I mean, he does coach a good defense, so we'll see. All right, the NFL picks. Let's get it started. Patriots at Broncos, 12 in the afternoon on CBS. I'm gonna take the Denver Broncos. Congrats, you guys. You're heading to the Super Bowl with a 23-20 win. It's going to be a good one. I think C.J. Anderson plays well. The Broncos open up the play action with a good running game. Look for their defense to frustrate Brady all afternoon. The Broncos are heading back to the Super Bowl thanks to that dominant defense of theirs. And the NFC, Cardinals at Panthers, 3:40 p.m. on Fox. I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals to win this game in a nail-biter, 34-31. I'm going to say, though Graham Gano's been money all season, I think Gano misses a game-tying field goal, and the Cardinals complete a small mini comeback in this game and beat the Panthers. I was wrong about the Panthers defense. I always knew they were good, but they're phenomenal, man. That Panthers defense is amazing, but I think their offense gets exposed a bit this weekend. I mean, you guys do understand when you look up statistics-wise, the Panthers have had the best field positioning out of any team offensively in the NFL because of their defense and how many punts they force, how great the returning is, what turnovers they force. I don't think it goes well against Arizona because Arizona's very different defense. They harass you, they attack you, they make defense look offensive as well, and they're the type of team that would beat the Panthers. Look for Palmer and his boys, the Bird Gang, heading back to the Super Bowl. Arizona hasn't been there since Warner. Larry Fitz is excited because he's heading back and getting another opportunity. Look for a Denver Broncos, and Arizona Cardinals Super Bowl, with Denver winning the AFC Championship 23-20, Arizona winning the NFC Championship 34-31. And quick, we got our fantasy predictions. Quarterback is Carson Palmer. He's going to dominate that Panthers secondary. Running backs, David Johnson, CJ Anderson. Those are the X factors to open up the passing game. They got to be able to, both teams have to be able to run the ball. That's why I'm taking both teams winning running backs. Wide receivers, Michael Floyd and Emmanuel Sanders. Michael Floyd has been really on lately, and look for him to keep it up. I think Fitz has a good game, all right? Fitzgerald's going to play well, but I think Floyd has a monster game. I'd say 90 to 100 yards and a touchdown, maybe even 2. Emmanuel Sanders is going to get past that Patriots secondary. I think Denver wins as well. Tight end, Rob Gronkowski. Simple as that. Denver's corners will lock down Patriots receivers. Brady will have to throw to Gronk, which he always does in the first place. Kicker, Brandon McManus. The Broncos are going to kick a lot of field goals this game. Look for him to be very important. And defense, Arizona Cardinals. I say they force a fumble or an interception for a touchdown on Cam Newton. Cam Newton will not perform. He just doesn't perform in big stages, man. He's great. He's phenomenal, but he's like James Harden. Come big stages, the guy cannot execute. Maybe he will this time. We can't predict that for sure, but I just don't see him pulling it off. Look for Arizona to win this one. So there you have it, folks. Those are my predictions for NFL-wise, for the games, and fantasy-wise, and a little extra for everyone about the head coaching vacancies and how they all turned out. So there you have it. Enjoy these predictions. And pay close attention. The AFC and NFC Championships are going to be great. If they're as good as this past weekend, I can't wait, man. All right, well, you guys have a good time and enjoy your weekend. Keep watching football.